Here in South India, do you know Harihara? Harihara is combination of Shiva and Vishnu. There is also Parvati and Shiva. What is that? What is his name? Yes. Mahaprabhu, Sri Caitanya, Radha Krishna Naiyanya. Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna combined, but in a different way than Harihara and Shiva and Parvati. In a different way. In a very profound way. And I'm not going to say much about that. Other than that is his identity. He is Krishna. But his mood is as the greatest devotee. The greatest devotee of Krishna is Srimati Radharani. In the beginning of Krishna consciousness, I heard that Mahaprabhu, he is Krishna, and he's acting like a devotee. It took some years for it to sink in, so to speak. Which devotee? I hope he's not acting like me. Is he acting like you? Krishna comes to act like a devotee. Which devotee? Which caliber of devotee? What type of what devotee? It is mentioned that in the daytime Mahaprabhu used to act like an ordinary human being. He would do Sankirtan for 5 or 6 hours and go to Jagannath. That's the business of an ordinary human being, to perform Yuga Dharma. In the evening, in his room at Gambhira, he used to exhibit wonderful pastimes beyond the imagination of anyone. This morning there was some nice discussions about Siksastakam, Mahaprabhu's prayers, instruction, particularly his first instruction of Nam Sankirtan. What sometimes escapes us is the recollection that Mahaprabhu didn't write that like in the beginning of his pastimes. Siksastakam came out in the last 12 years when Mahaprabhu had cut himself off from the public and remained 24 hours a day absorbed in his deepest moods of transcendental love and separation, vipralambha. And from time to time he would just utter these composed verses. Not just once, but again and again. From his deepest state of divine love, he would utter some instruction. That is called Siksastakam. They are the only original 8 things, verses, that Mahaprabhu ever wrote. His disciples have written libraries and libraries full of literatures to explain him, to explain actually the meaning of those 8 instructions. So from his highest experience, he gives us what is most beneficial, this Nam Sankirtan. It is considered the prime benediction for humanity at large. We cannot do a greater service to humanity. We cannot do our families more good or ourselves more good than simply chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. That sound will take us from the grossest plane of materialism and misconception and transport us ultimately to Goloka Vrindavan, to the eternal pastimes of the Supreme Lord and His devotees. That mantra will do everything for us.